Alright, so in this video, I have 3 new pieces of information to bring you while also having pretty much, not conclusive, but relatively complete info as to how you should be tackling on Fuego's banner as free-to-plays and as low spenders. For if you're spending, for the most part, you do what you want. You have fun with the units you want, okay? Now, one thing is something that I'm probably going to make another video after we have confirmation, but Fuego seems to, first of all, be the only banner coming out in Season 13, only new unit coming out, so that means you have a month to save for anniversary if that's your plan. Now next up, we know exact when Fuego is coming out, and you could just check here, it's converted automatically to your time zone, unless maintenance takes longer than it should, alright? And finally, I do have to show you this, which we're going to turn off the music real quick, and we could check this out. So, I just want to show the animations. Here you go. So that's the animation. I don't know, like, is that, I can't tell if it's reused or not. I really can't. I'm not going to check it right now, but the intro does look pretty good. I like it. I feel like it's a bit short. Like, I feel like we're missing a part. We'll have to see in game. But yeah, that's it. That's the animations that we know of Fuego for right now. So this is going to be a should you summon. Okay, should you be summoning on Fuego? In what instances? And then we're going to have to bring up multiple things now and not just PvP. Because people are just looking at PvP, but now we have way more stuff, as I've already ranted about in multiple videos in the past week. So Fuego is a dark attacker, which definitely is a bit of a turnoff for many people. But one thing is that I want to bring attention to is that before he comes out on Global, I will be able to actually showcase him on JP because JP gets him 7 hours beforehand. And with that, I'm going to showcase his stats and a bit of his gameplay with a couple games, but not many because obviously there's only RTA Lite on JP. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Probably around 6 a.m. EST, so 2 hours before it should go live right now on Global. Fuego's video should be out about. So let's start off with his passives because that's kind of how it goes now. Honestly, I just want to bring this up and we're going to talk about it afterwards. We have all this that's coming for content. Daily boss battle, which is 7 bosses with different gimmicks. Tower expansion, floor 201 to 250. Frame challenge, which is 5 difficult stages that reset every single month. And they are pretty difficult from what I've seen. It seems like Hall of Illusions back in the day. New Octopus raid, and then later on in the year, probably in December, new World Boss raid is what we're getting until probably the end of the year. And Fuego should be good in every single one of these. Yeah, he should be good in every single one of these. So, we're going to explain why exactly. Now then, dupe 2, we'll start with the passive actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. So what he gets at the beginning of battle is a Salamander's Flame passive, alright? And this buff, I guess I should call it, not a passive, a buff, is when he attacks, upon attacking while the effect is active, he gets 50% of own magic attack as HP recovery, which means that if he's got buffs and also increased HP recovery, he's going to be healing way more. So 50% of magic attack should be around, oh my god, should be around 60k healing. But then when you include all attack and healing recovery, that could be over 150k, which is insane. So yeah, this is pretty good. Every turn he gets a max heal, basically, is how this reads. Then he gets 30% damage reduction built in. And then when he counterattacks while the effect is active, he performs an extra attack on all enemies, dealing 120% of attack and magic attack as damage. Now, just to say, the counterattack is base 120% plus 120, which means the counterattack single target does 240%, not counting any other damage buffs he gets in his kit for counterattacking. So 240% counterattack. Remember, I'll get into the actually skill 1 later. The skill 1's busted for this. Now, how does he counterattack? From the skill dupe 2, which is when you take damage, if his attacker is taking burn damage, he performs a counterattack. So honestly, for most PvE people, you probably could just get him at dupe 2. He's going to counterattack. All of his hits going to be active. He won't have the immortality, but he's going to be able to have damage reduction, healing, and then a lot of damage done. Now, the dupe 5 is where he gets crazy and why he's good and bad against this meta. Okay, why he's good. If he's on a rainbow team, including himself, obviously, he grants himself immortality for 2 turns at the start of the battle. So this means that Black Divider cannot kill Fuego because Black Divider on his ult in Desperate can only kill if Immortality is not applied. If Immo is already applied, Black Divider does not remove it. But units like Zora, Destiny Vanessa, Summer Yuno can remove this Immortality because if Immo's on him, it could be removed instantly. Which is why you got to have something like Protection on him, and that is exactly how he's going to be ran. That is, because you're going to be running him with either Gouldry against some teams if you're playing him on attack and you're versus mono green. So you could play with either Gouldry because he has protection for 2 turns on his skill 2 with skill page. And then there's also Vanessa who gives protection for 2 turns at the start of the battle or the wave. So this is going to be very important, okay? And this basically allows Fuego to have protection guaranteed for 2 turns. So that's kind of how you're going to be playing with him, okay? And this gives him the immortality. But remember, without this, he has no rainbow restrictions, right? So if you're in PvE, like, he doesn't need this. And then you get to counterattack. You get to do your healing and damage reduction built in. Which for a lot of PvE content, considering AoE counterattack, it's going to be good. Even if he's type disadvantage. So now we're going to go back up and then go back down again. So skill 1 is 120%, which is very good considering the counterattack. But what else it does? He inflicts taunt on an enemy for 1 turn, also when counterattacking. Now, what does this mean? He infinitely counterattacks. Oh, sorry. He infinitely taunts the minute he attacks someone. Because he attacks someone, right? It's going to apply taunt. They're forced to attack him. And then by getting attacked, he re-attacks them, which applies the taunt again, which means they're going to attack you again, and you're going to attack them again, and then it makes an infinite loop. So for PvE content, you got to imagine this is crazy. If he has his dupe 5, it's literally just like an S+++ ability. But if he doesn't have immortality at dupe 5 and you don't have him at dupe 5, then it's an S ability, S tier, S+ ability. Because he just keeps on counterattacking for 240%, right? Every single time. And then he keeps on taunting, right? So that means the enemy also cannot use any buff attacks, which is starting to be a bit more relevant, right? With all these different types of things, right? All these different types of content. It's going to be relevant somewhere. Even in this, look, you attack Real, he can't use any buffs, right? Something like that is basically how it's going to be played, right? And that's very good. Then, if Salamander's Flame is not present on self upon performing a counterattack, you get it back for 2 turns. Really good, because the minute you taunt, you're guaranteed to get hit at least 1 more time afterwards. And then you inflict burn, which is a very strong addition. Before, this was not on there, now it is. Now, the skill 2 is extra strong. 200% attack multiplier, and then for every burn on the enemy, you get a 40% damage increase. And yes, you could apply 3 burns very easily. I'm going to go down a bit. This applies 3 burns. You inflict 1 burn, and then 2 burns with Salamander's Flame active. So you use this, for example, Summer Vanessa is supposed to be quicker. So you use this, right? You combo with Summer Vanessa on the enemy, and let's say you want to target and kill them in 1 turn. You use this on them, 200%, 120% damage increase. You're probably going to kill. All things considered, you're probably going to kill, right? And then you put burn on the left and right if they are taking burn. And then the skill page adds, if Salamander's Flame is present on self, you get an extra extended immortality duration by 1 turn, which he's at 2, which means technically he has 3 turns of MO. This only helps him for 2 though, because he needs to wrap things up within 2 of his attacking turns. If you think about it logically, he needs to kill Vanessa and Black Divider, or just Black Divider if he can, to wrap it up, right? Depending on how the meta go, like how the round goes, because or else you do lose, right? That's kind of the problem, is that he's got to wrap it up quick. Okay, he does. But you can do it. Thank God for this. You can do it, but it won't work every single time. Okay, that's kind of the main point. Now, what you could do is just go for a kamikaze attack where you AoE everyone, get Black Divider to 1 HP, the rest of your team dies, but then you live, and then you could maybe, not in all cases, but maybe just finish it off, right? Because you do get a full heal at the start, well, when you attack. So you get an first of all, by the way, this is what I was talking about for the increase in HP. You get an all attack increase here. You get a HP recovery level 5 increase, and you put burn on everyone. AoE burn, all attack, increased recovery, all good. Well, these 2 are good for his healing here, but then these 2 are good for obviously his burns, right? So everything works pretty well together here. You're going to see the skill page passive I'm still against, but you know, it is what it is. But this AoE is pretty strong. 210% AoE is very, very good. And then he puts all attack on himself for 2 turns afterwards. If Black Divider has invulnerability, you could dead ass just go for this, get your all attack increase, and then finish finesse off afterwards, or do something like that. Like, there's a lot of ways you could go about it. But I think honestly these are 3 very good skills. This 120% damage increase, guys, I just want to bring something to your attention in PvE content, because listen, I'm starting to look at PvE content too. That's another 75% damage increase. So you got 75 and then 120% multiplier. Like, this is going to do damage. This is going to do damage if you put that on him in PvE. And then also there's this, right? So Fuego, like, he's getting 15%, so 45. And then his skill page is giving 75. And then on his ult, he's getting 220, right? So he's getting a lot. And we see how much that does. And we have 2 multiplicative buffs that are very high on Fuego. So Fuego, considering he has a much higher... Because Fuego's here is 110. On Salamander Fuego, 200. It's going to be a lot of damage, right? It is. Oh, now you got your daily shitty wallpaper because I forgot to open wallpaper engine in the morning. Is what it is. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to just talk about, how in PvE this skill is going to do damage, right? 200%, 120% multiplier, another 75% multiplier. It's going to be crazy, especially if you have the all attack buff. You're probably doing as much as Clover Fuego a lot of the times with 3 burns on the enemy, which is insane to think about. And then we already went over the combo, but just rethink about it. This is a 3-turn burn, then another 2. You're putting 3 burns immediately, which means this combo is doing a lot of damage, like, just instantly, right? And burns, oh, bro, it's been a while since I've really cared about burns. They kind of go through quote-unquote damage reduction, right? Please let me know down below, but like, they don't really account for damage reduction if I'm not mistaken. So I'm gonna look into that after. I'm gonna ask Ali Conley. Am I able to message him from here? I don't think so. Anyway, so yeah, no, that's why burn is so good, because you apply 3 immediately and then you do extra damage. It's just such a good combo. But then what's not a good combo, we went over the extra skill 2 skill. It's good, but nothing really to go crazy over. The main thing is this. I don't like it. Like, I know what they're going for. I just don't like it. I'd rather wrap the game up quickly, but they're trying to go for a longer game. But then the problem is that the cooldown here is 3 turns, right? So you use it once, and unless you get the skill 2 proc, you're not using it again before the ammo wears off. Because, like, you use it once, you stay at 2 turns, and then you got to get the skill 2 proc once to be able to keep it up another turn. Which to me kind of sucks. It does. Now, what it is when you do a counterattack when Salamander's Flame is on you, there's a 100% chance at max dupe to get a 50% damage increase, which means the counter is going to start doing a lot of damage, right? Like 360%, which is really good. Like, you're going to do, you're going to do 360% on a counter single target, which is good. It's a lot of damage, especially if you got the all attack on yourself. The problem is this doesn't really play, and they could have done it where if you do a counterattack when Salamander's Flame is active, you get a magic attack increase for 1 turn. I think that would have been way better. Like, for the attack and a 1 turn after, right? You get 50, like, let's say 50% magic attack. You attack after granting 50% magic attack and get magic attack for 1 turn, however much it is. But also the problem with this is that there's no universal passive, which should definitely be implemented, right? They did it with Black Divider, was very good. What they did with Black Divider should have not been done on Black Divider, but should have been done on Dorothy and Fuego. Why? Because everyone's summoning for Black Divider anyway, so doing that didn't really help the game revenue. Because if you're summoning on him already, you're just giving everyone a universal skill page, where if you give it to Fuego and Dorothy, more people are going to summon on their skill pages at the bare minimum, which is what you want, right? Thinking of it from the company's perspective, it was a very stupid decision. Oh my god, it was a very stupid decision to put it on Black Divider, but not put it on Fuego and Dorothy, the universal part of the passive. Because tell me why. Tell me why Black Divider got the best attacker passive in the game with just this. 30% damage increase to everyone alongside this. Like, this applies on everyone. This is like one of the best, especially if it is multiplicative. Like, this is insane. So yeah, them not adding it there sucks. So now we could get into the kind of should you summon part. So one thing, we don't know his stats. Tune into tomorrow's video before he comes out to see what exactly that entails. Now let's get into it. So for PvP, he is going to sit very comfortably, probably in the top 10. And he is going to be sitting right here. And then there are a couple things, which let me pull up the spreadsheet. Okay, so I pulled up the spreadsheet, and basically, we should not be getting a unit here, so what we should be getting is a rerun, including Black Divider. So if you don't want Fuego and you want Black Divider because you like Asta more than Fuego, go ahead, but Asta is going to probably be worse over time because Fuego's Black Divider Asta's direct counter, so keep that in mind first of all. Number 2, Sekirei should be coming out as part 2 of Anniversary, which she's probably either red or blue, which, by the way, just answer this poll down below if you want to. 100 people thought she was going to be blue, with a lot less people thinking she was going to be red. There's almost no chance she is going to be dark, I believe. There is, 0% for green and light, but chaos, red, and blue all have a chance. If she's either blue or red, well, she's going to be really good for Fuego in a lot of cases, but the main thing is that if she has protection, Fuego immediately shoots up to S+. All he's missing is a support unit that is at least an S tier, that is good, that gives protection. If a good supporter unit gives protection, then immediately Fuego goes to S+. Start a battle. You see it again. Start a battle, right? That's the main point, okay? The main point is Fuego needs a good protection unit, and then he is S+. Literally it. Literally it. So now that we understand that, we could go into this. So for PvP, right? If you have Summer Vanessa, right? That it's simple as that. Summer Vanessa, you're safe, right? That's literally all you need to really be able to do something with Fuego. In a lot of teams, he will be needing Summer Vanessa, okay? Just outright. And then for the red slot, just real quick, you got 2 main options, either Magna or Dorothy, I'd say. And then obviously we all know who it is for light. But yeah, so Fuego isn't going to have many team options. And he will not completely change the meta from what it's looking like. But he will actually be good against Black Divider teams. If you are annoyed at Black Divider teams, then definitely pull for him, right? But you have to max dupe. You don't have to max dupe his skill page, though. I don't really think it's that good. Like, sure, you're getting extra damage, but you're not making use of this that much from what we're seeing. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. But I really don't think it's a life or death thing. Like, his damage is not a life or death thing, especially because it's just the counterattack, right? So besides that, versus Mono Green, people have been bringing up time and time again, oh, but Summer Yuno counters him. You don't fucking see Summer Yuno much now, do you? Okay, that's the main thing. If people start using him, then sure, right? Sure. But you're really just not seeing Summer Yuno used that much, okay? So that's the thing. So yeah, sure, there's that. But against a normal Mono Green team, if you have protection, you're going to be fine, right? If it's a Mario Mono Green, Mario Yuno Mono Green, you got that, right? You do got that. But Summer Yuno might be used more for all I know. But for now, we should be safe in that regard. Or you could just kill Summer Yuno. You could just kill Summer Yuno. You don't put a red unit, you put a blue unit, you speed up Fuego, and you try to kill Summer Yuno. Or you could stun with Magna, right? There's many ways you could probably go about it. So I'm just kind of offering different ideas. So we'll see how it goes for Summer Yuno. But yeah, you don't really need this. So I don't think you need to max dupe this, but you definitely, for PvP viability, need to max dupe this. Almost no doubt about it, okay? So with that in mind, definitely for PvP, he is good, but not a life or death situation, right? If you don't want Fuego, if you don't like Fuego, then that's fine, right? But you got to consider a lot of more PvE content, which we're about to get into. But Lumiere is coming out, right? And on a rainbow team, you could run Fuego with Lumiere, but that's 2 attackers, so it's really up to you. You could obviously wait. You could wait and see what these units are after leaks, obviously, because I'm going to cover leaks at some point. But the main thing is that Sekirei could either greatly help or just not really make a difference for Fuego. But there's a lot of units in the future. Spirit of Zephyr, Awakened Licht, Henry, Lumiere, sorry, and then also Sekirei. So if you don't want Fuego, you don't need Fuego. But let's say for PvE content, especially if you're a new player, for a new player, Fuego is a must summon in my eyes, because 1, you have a lot more currency, and 2, you need a good PvE unit. And Fuego has an AoE ult and an AoE counter, which is going to be very good for you, okay? So even you, I think even going for 2 dupes if you're just using it for PvE is fine. You go for 2 dupes and then you save everything for Anniversary. That is completely fine. But you got to realize there's 7 daily bosses where Fuego might be good in 2 or 3 of them. I honestly should probably check into them. And then there's more tower floors, which Fuego will be good for because he has built-in damage reduction, okay? Not lifesteal, healing every turn, AoE ult, good damage, right? He's going to be good for this. For this, we will have to see. But let's look at the effects of one of them. For example, floor 1. Let's see how good Fuego is for floor 1. We have a bit of info on this. Not the full info. but we do have some information on this. Okay, so Yami, level 125, should have a lot of HP. This guy is gonna, well, this team has 400 KCC, so it's probably 100 KCC per unit, which means Yami's a pretty well-built DPS. But there's also buffs that they gave alongside the gear level 125 that they have. When Yami applies Immortality Block effect to the enemy before attacking, which Fuego is good against, but then, because obviously he already has MO, but when HP is over 90%, increase all attack power by 50%. So immediately he's just doing extra damage by an extra 50%, and when he's below 10%, he gets an 100%. But then also, red enemies do 400% less damage dealt to him, and then when he's attacking an enemy that suffers from both bleed and burn, he gives MO to himself for 3 turns. So there's a lot of effects here, right? So we gotta imagine, right, that because of this, all of these 4 units are gonna be broken. Okay. I don't know if it's on one of them or all 4. If it's on all 4, this is still toxic. Imagine this on all 4. Oh my god. But because ammo on all 4 of them is the toxic part, right? But we just kind of have to see for that. But for Fuego, like, he's gonna be able to do good because he has damage reduction built in. But then if you're max duping him, then he gets really crazy. Okay. Because he guaranteed would live against this guy. Yami can't kill Fuego, right? The most bots won't be able to kill Fuego because a lot of them don't have immortality removal. They might have MO block like this, but immortality removal is different. So because of that, max duping him for PvE is not a bad option, right? Even for frame challenge. And then the Octopus Raid, well, he should be good for the Octopus Raid unless it has like a type disadvantage type of damage reduction. But if not, like, dark units are going to be good in this one, and especially Fuego, because he's going to taunt, have MO. If he's at max dupe, of course, I'm talking in this perspective. And then if he doesn't have a max dupe, well, he has damage reduction built in. So that should help him. If he gets even one other source of damage reduction, Fuego should be able to live relatively well, considering his also his healing. And then also, he's going to be doing very good single target damage, especially against one boss because of the combo that you're going to want to apply, which applies 3 burns immediately. And then you could build up with all attack and then do a bunch of damage on this skill too, which is how you might want to play it against the new raid. And then for world boss, I feel like Fuego is going to be good, right? You're going to be doing a 240% counterattack every time if you have the skill page at least somewhat decently well. Well then, he could be doing a lot, right? You just got to feed Fuego magic attack, and that's literally it, bro. You feed him just magic attack, and then Fuego is doing tremendous damage. So there's a lot of ways in PvE I feel like we could all see that he's good. So definitely, like, building him up for PvE is not a bad option since we're getting so much, and there's going to be frame challenges resetting and changing every single month is the key part to what I wanted to mention for that. But yeah, in PvP, I think that he's not necessary, but if you want him, you have to go for max dupe, but not max dupe skill page. But for PvE, you could get him at 2 dupes or max dupe. Max dupe is obviously going to be better. We'll see in game, but I definitely think at 2 dupes he can work, but max dupe is going to be a way better result for Fuegoleon in this case. But yeah, his damage skill too is going to be very good, and that's basically it. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for a lot more videos, especially tomorrow and on Wednesday. Thank you for watching. I need to go sleep. I just got home from school and I'm like, let me record this. But yeah, clearly I need some sleep. Oh my god, 22 minutes, and that probably would have been closer to 30 if I was slower on my speech there. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Have an amazing sleep like I will very soon. Bye-bye.